What's going on, guys? It's your boy Peter and I'm back again with another video. Before I start this video, I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's been showing love to this channel. I really appreciate you guys. If for you guys that are new to this channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, show some love to this channel, man. Today I'm going to be talking about the courses you should expect in school to become an aircraft maintenance engineer. For you guys who don't know, I went to Centennial College in Toronto and I graduated in the year 2016. I started school 2014. So most of the colleges, it's a 2-year program to become an AME. You have 4 semesters and most of the time you don't have summer classes. It always falls in winter. So I had 4 semesters, and for the 4 semesters, you have different programs, and also for the first 2 semesters, you usually do, there's always like a combination of the electrical aspect and also the maintenance aspect. So after your first year, for most colleges I know, after your first year, that's when you choose to become either an aircraft maintenance or the avionics side of it. I went for the AMS side, the maintenance side of it, and I'll give you a quick overview of the courses I took. And also, I don't know what the school system is right now, but because I graduated in the year 2016, it's almost like 6 years different. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a lot of difference, but I'm just gonna give you guys the courses I took just to get an idea of what to expect in school. So in the year 2014 falls, I had 9 courses, and the courses are aircraft publications, aircraft applied mathematics, avionics fundamental, piston engine and propellers, sheet metal, theory of flight, electrical fundamental, safety and human factors, tools, materials, and processes. So for the first one, aircraft publication. Aircraft publication it's a really easy course. It was actually one of the easiest courses for me in my first year. It's mostly about the history of how aircraft was built and also the safeties and regulations within the aircraft system, right? And also it's like it shows you, tells you the laws behind them. It's a really easy course. For me, it was not that hard. All I had to do was study, and for the most part I passed the courses. And also my friends, they didn't really have that much problem with these courses. The second one is aircraft applied mathematics. This could be a hard course. That's because most 80% of this course is mathematics. It's a lot of calculations. For me, I'm really good at math, and math was not my problems, but I had friends that had difficulties with this course. It's a lot of calculations. So calculations for weight and balance. It's a lot of calculations there, and I would say for whoever is gonna have this course in school, you might have to take it a little more serious, because it's a hard course, and most of the people actually fail these courses. The third one is avionics fundamental. Avionics fundamental is it gives you a whole general side of the avionics side of an aircraft. So it gives you the fundamental of the electrical aspect of aircraft. This course is not that hard, to be honest. It's a little calculation from what I remember, but for most parts you just gotta study, and you should be okay with this course. The next one is piston engines and propellers. So this course gives you a whole overview of the M1 side of AME. So it gives you an overview of the piston, the propeller side of of M1. For me, this course was not hard at all, especially the first one. It wasn't hard at all. I would say it's one of the third easiest course on this program. For the most part, you just gotta study. Less calculations, from what I remember. It's less calculations on these courses. It's more of a reading and understanding the system. The fourth one is sheet metal. So this is the practical aspect of my first year. So for the most part, 80% of the time we were in the hangar. We actually had a program. On this sheet metal course, we had a practical test to do. So we had to build a whole wing. I'm not sure if they still do it, but when I was in school, we had to actually build a wing. it was hard for me because I never really had a experience with all these power tools, and you know what I mean. That was my first time actually using, like, for example, the rivet gun. I never used it in my life, you know. So it's a good course because it gives you, especially for guys that are actually going for the structure side of an AMU, right? It gives you, you know, that background and, you know, experience of how to use all these power tools. I didn't know how to use it, the power tools, so it was actually a good course for me. It's not that hard, to be honest. It's less it's a lot of just little calculation, but less calculations. It's more of a particle side of the course. So for the most part, you're probably working in the hangar with your, you know, wherever professor you have. So the fifth one is called theory of flight. For me personally, this was actually the hardest part of, you know, the course for my first year. Theory of flight, it gives you an overview of, you know, the aerodynamic side of it, and that's where the aeronautical engineering side comes in. You learn a lot of, you know, lift and, you know, thrust and all that. It's actually really hard. I found when I was in school, I found this course a little bit more hard, to be honest. It's a lot of information and studying, to be honest. So for you guys that are going to school, I would say for theory of flight, you gotta, you know, take it more serious. I had a problem with it, but luckily I passed my courses. So yeah, theory of flight is for me personally, it was actually one of the hardest part of the course. So the sixth one is it's called electrical fundamentals. So this course actually gives you the fundamental part of the electrical part of aircraft. So it's almost the same thing as the avionics fundamental, but there's more calculations. From what I remember, there's more calculations on this course. Personally, and also there's practical actually on electrical fundamentals. You have for your first year, I think you have 3 practicals or 2. But yeah, for these electrical fundamentals, you actually had to, from what I remember, we had to build a wire harness. So you actually had to build a wire harness, and it was not hard for me. For me, the practical side, I was never really good in practical side in school. But most of the courses are more of reading and understanding, right? So. Yeah, electrical fundamental was not that bad. You have 1 particle, and also you actually have to. There's less calculations, and but it's more of, you know, reading and understanding wherever your teacher tells you, right? So this 8th one is called safety human factor. So the safety human factors. For me, I think this was the easiest course during my first year program. It's more of, it gives you a whole view of, you know, the safety side of the core of aviation. Personally, I think all you gotta do is listen in class. Sometimes you don't have to read for this course. For me, I can't remember a single time I studied for this course, and that was because it's really easy, and most of the questions in school was just like common sense, you know, like it's really common sense questions. Most of my exams were common sense, and you don't have to study. Trust me, I know friends that don't study at all. They don't even go to school, and they're having 80%. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, this was the easiest course on the program. So the last one for my first semester was called Tools, Materials, and Processes. Tools, Materials, and Processes gives you an overview of the type of tools you're gonna be using, you know, in aviation industry, and also the materials. For example, rivets, you know, bolts. There's a lot of calculation on this in this course. And I don't know why, but like sometimes you have to calculate, for example, for torque wrench, right? To use a torque wrench, sometimes you have to make some calculations there. And this course gives you a fundamental, basic, you know, explanation of how to use torque wrench and calculation of torque wrench. You know, for example, you have to use, like, you know, rivet gun. It gives you a calculation of how to get the correct size of the rivet gun, you know what I'm saying, of the rivet, you know what I'm saying. So So yeah, for the most part, I would say for my first semester we had 9 courses. My finals was not that bad. The only problem was, sometimes you have like, I have like 3 exams a day. It's just a lot of courses, and I don't know why they 9 courses is a lot, bro. But yeah, for the first part, the first semester is mostly, it's a lot of this calculations there, and it's a lot of studying. So it goes to let me go to my second semester. That was 2015 winter. I had 9 courses also, but for this second semester there's less calculations, mostly understanding the system of an aircraft. So I had the courses are hangar maintenance, hangar maintenance. The second one is power, engine, and distribution. The third one is turbine engine. The fourth is aircraft hydraulics and landing gear. The fifth one is aircraft solid state. The seventh one is aircraft instrument. The eighth one is Canadian aviation, and the last one is airframe system. From the most part, most of these courses are less calculations. So for you guys that don't have problem with calculations or math, this should not be a problem. Overall, I think my second semester was a little bit more easier than the first semester, and that was because I'm new to the system, and also it's a lot of more. I know it's a lot of more studying, and I didn't know that before going to school that, oh shit, I'm gonna be having 9 courses. It was actually when I signed up for it, right? But the second semester, I was mentally ready for for the course. So the first one, hangar maintenance, hangar maintenance, it's more of it's a practical side. So for most parts, you're gonna be working in the hangar. This course gives you a whole overview of how things work in the hangar, the type of checks you're gonna be having, the C check, A check, H check, and for the most part, you're gonna be, that's when I actually had the privilege to see an aircraft for the first time, like in the close-up view, right? I remember in school we had this M1 aircraft. We had the Cessna, we had the Bell, I think 135, we had the Pipers. This course is pretty easy. I would say attendance is a huge part of this course. For me, actually, attendance is one of your marks, for this program. So for you guys that are gonna be taking this program, attendance is it's a big part of this course. And for the most part, you just gotta study, and it's pretty easy. The second one was power, generator, and distribution. So this is more of it gives you the kind of the types of AC system and DC system you're gonna be expecting on the aircraft. For me, this course was a little bit difficult for me, and that was because I didn't have that much electrical background before going to school. For the most part, and there's a lot of calculation too on this course. So for you guys that are gonna be taking it, this course is gonna be, and I want you guys to understand something, right? Whatever information I'm giving you right now, it's based on the year 2014, between the year 2014 and 16. So I don't know what the program is right now. So I'm just trying to give you a quick overview of what you should expect in school. I'm not sure if they're gonna change the whole system, but I'm pretty sure for the most part it's gonna be almost the same thing, right? So the third one is turbine engines. Turbine engine, it's a course that actually tells you how it gives you the M2 side of aircraft. So you're gonna be learning of how turbine engines work, the types of turbine. You have the single spool, double spool, triple spool engines. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna give you more the systems, the kind of units you have on turbine engines. So for the most part, I think this course it's a study and pass course. So if you can't understand what your professor is teaching in school and you study, you should be pretty good. Me personally, I did not find this course hard at all. The fourth one is called aircraft hydraulics and landing gear. And me personally, for my second semester, I think this was the easiest course I had. Hydraulic system, I always love hydraulic system. I don't know why. So for the most part, this course is mostly studying, to be honest. And to me, honestly, like, I didn't study that much for this course, and I had an A plus. So if you're always in class and you listen to your teacher and you understand the system, it's a really easy course. So this course tells you more of the hydraulics, the hydraulic system in an aircraft, and also how the landing gear works, right? So for me, like, if you study for this course, you should be all good. It should not be a problem at all. The fifth one is called aircraft solid state, and I would say this is the hardest course in my second semester. And actually, a lot of people actually fail this course. They had to really take them, during summer, 2015 summertime. There's a lot of, I think 80% of this course was calculations. It's a lot of calculations. I think the professor we had at the time was not the best also, in the explanation, and that kind of played a role in why people failed this course. I think almost like 50% of the whole class failed this course. I was lucky enough because I said I'm good at calculation. I was lucky enough to pass. But solid state is it's a lot of calculation. So for you guys that are gonna be taking it, it's gonna be a lot of calculation. I would say for the most part, try to listen in class. And if you have friends, this is what kind of helped me too, right? I had friends that was, either good in hydraulics and I was good in calculations. So we kind of share ideas of how, wherever we understand, we kind of help each other out too, right? So if you have a friend in school that is, pretty good at calculations, I would say it's a best way to like talk to them, like, hey bro, can you explain this to me? And for the most part, man, you have to work a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying, to pass this course. I would say it was one of the hardest hardest course in the whole semester. But yeah, the next one is called aircraft instruments. So this course kind of tells you the instruments you have in an aircraft. So it gives you the examples of the instrument for it, like for example the altimeter or the SP system, or it gives you a whole overview of the instruments we use in an aircraft. For me personally, this course was not hard at all. It's a lot of I would say it's a lot of drawing and labeling too on this course, I think I remember. But yeah, for the most part, I would say if you started for this course, you should be okay. There's no calculations. But yeah, it's pretty much that was pretty much it. The next one is called Canadian Aviation Regulations, or CARS. CARS is it gives you the rules and regulations in aviation. So for the most part, this course is not hard at all. I would say it's the second easiest course in this program. All you gotta do is study and you should be okay. I know this is gonna be a long video, so it's gonna be a long video, so I'm sorry for I'm gonna try to speed it up as quick as I can. The next one is called airframe system. So airframe system gives you it's almost the same as what is it called, sheet metal. For the most part, this course was pretty easy. I don't think people had any problem with this course. It's more of a study and pass and understand, wherever the professor teaches you, right? And also, to be honest, it's been like almost 6 years. I cannot remember, everything, like how this course is. I can't really explain the whole course because it's been a whole long time, right? So I'm trying my best to remember some of these courses. So I'll move. So after your first year, right? Like I said, after your first year, now the second year you get the opportunity to either move to the avionics side of of AME, or you move to the maintenance side for the avionics side, I don't know that much about avionics, but because I went to the maintenance side. So for you guys that are going to the maintenance side, I'm gonna give you, the overview of what I had in my second semester. So for my 2015 third semester, that's when you start, having lesser courses. I think I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had four courses. I remember it was like, going from 9 courses to I have 4 courses. It's one of the best feelings ever. So yeah, the 4 courses, I'll tell you, from what I remember, this was the easiest semester I ever had, bro. I remember this like the easiest. I'm telling you, like, no calculations, and most of these courses are like, bro, all you gotta do is listen to class and you be good, to be honest. So I had 4 courses, and the first one was called maintenance procedure. The second one is called rotary wings control, and the third one is called piston engines. The last one is called materials and processes. So the first one, maintenance procedure, to be honest, it's all about, it teaches you, it kind of gives you more, it goes in depth into like the kind of maintenance you do, right? So you have the A check, C check, H check, right? So it gives you how those checks, how we do those checks and what to expect in those checks. For the most part, bro, you just gotta study. It's a really easy course. I'm telling you, I'm telling, like, I don't remember studying for this course at all. And for my friends too, most of us didn't study, because all you gotta do is show up in class, listen to your professor, and you should be good. No calculations at all, nothing. So the second one is rotary wings control. This course gives you, it's more of a hand-on course, right? It tells you how the hand-on system works. So it's mostly for aircraft with fixed wings. So it gives you how the system works in a wing. The basic system of an hand-on aircraft. So for me, for the most part, it was pretty easy. And actually, right now that I'm going through these courses, right, the third semester is mostly focused on M1. So mostly, for you guys don't know what M1 aircrafts are, so most of these M1 aircrafts are like piston engine aircraft, right? So your third semester will focus more on M1 aircraft. So the next one is called piston engines. So this course gives you a overview of how piston engines work. You know what I'm saying? I never really got a chance to. That's why I said, like, most of these courses I took in school, I never really used them. You know what I'm saying? Piston engines, I never worked on an M1 aircraft, and I don't think I'm gonna be working on one. But it's a good experience to have in school, right? So for you guys that are thinking of having your own aircraft or working in a smaller company, it's a good course to understand. So it gives you more of a M1 system. For the most part, you just gotta study. I'm telling you, most of these courses in your third semester, it's way more easier. Like, I remember getting all A's in all of them, all A's. Yep. And the last one is materials and processes. So in materials and processes tells you the kind of materials you use in an aircraft. For example, you have the fiber side, you have the whole, is it honeycomb? Yeah, you have honeycomb, you have aluminum. So it kind of gives you the materials you use to build an aircraft. So for the most part, honestly, you just it's a really easy course. I would say it's the easiest course in your third semester. Yeah, most of the courses in your third semester are really easy. Then now you go to your fourth semester. Your fourth semester is mostly based on the M2 side of an aircraft. So M2 side is mostly for bigger aircraft, right? So you have the Boeing, you have the Boeing 787s, you have the Airbus, you have the Bombardier Q400. So the programs I think I had 1, 2, 3. I had 5 courses, and for the 5 courses, there was no calculation. It's mostly read, understand, and be in class. For the most part, I would say it was not that hard to pass this course. And most people that fail these courses, And that's what's gonna happen to a lot of people. You know, you get to your last semester, you be like, oh shit, I'm almost done with school, and you stop studying. And you don't want to put yourself in that situation, because for you to pass as an AME, you have to graduate with the 70% above. So you have to get nothing less than B2. A lot of people had to redo this course this semester, that was because it's not because they're dumb, it's because they actually stopped putting in the same effort they were doing, you know, in your first year. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, a lot of people are gonna get, you know, lazy. It almost happened to me. But for me, it's like, you know, I had to go. I didn't want to come back to start doing courses over. So I had to, like, you know, study more, right? So for the most part, this last semester was pretty easy. It's mostly focused on the M2 side of aviation. So the first one is called M1 and M2 aircraft systems. So this course kind of gives you a whole view of the M1 side and also the M2, and it gives you like the differences between, you know, those two type of aircraft. It's, you know, it's a pretty easy course. You just gotta study for it, listen in class, no calculations. This next one is called turbine engine. Turbine engine gives you turbine engine gives you you know, it gives you more, because I remember in my first year, right, we had turbine engines 1. So the last semester turbine engines 2 gives you more. It goes in depth more of how turbine engine works. It's a pretty easy course. Like I said, no calculations. All you gotta do is, you know, listen, study, understand the system. You should be pretty good. The next one is maintenance procedure. So this course tells you, you know, the maintenance, how the maintenance procedure of, you know, to be, you know, for it gives you the maintenance procedure in aviation, you know, in AME, right? So for the most part, it's a easy course. You just gotta study, like I said. The next one is aircraft inspection. It gives you the inspection side on how to do an inspection of, you know, how to do an inspection as an AME. Really easy course. Just gotta study, no calculations. The last one is called propellers. So it gives you an explanation of, you know, of how propellers works, right? Because, you know, some aircraft, some M2 aircraft do have propellers. Like for example, the Q400, right? It's an M2 aircraft, and you know, it has propellers. So it gives you how propellers work. I don't remember any calculation being on this course, and it's a pretty easy one. I would say for the most part, the hardest in my last semester was probably propellers, you know, and that was because it was a lot of information to remember. The easiest was actually maintenance procedure, I don't remember, and also aircraft inspection. Those two were pretty easy. But yeah, I try to be quick with this, you know, because I don't want to make no 40-minute video, you know what I'm saying? So I try to give you guys a quick overview of what I did in school, right? So if you guys have any questions, you can always drop it in the comment section. I'm gonna keep making more videos at least once a week, because right now I'm really busy at work, and you know, my free time, that's when I try to make videos, right, to help you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to, you know, like, subscribe, share this video. I'm also on Instagram right now. You can follow me on Instagram at Peter Janded. That's Peter Janded. I'm gonna drop it down in the comment section also. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and thanks for all the love you guys have been showing me, man. I really appreciate it. My channel is growing, you know, it's growing crazily, man. I appreciate the love, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Love you, boys.